What's going on, everybody? It's Josh, aka the Mo's the Muscle, and we're back, baby. Next up podcast. I'm not gonna lie, we've been recording these. I haven't been posting them. When I watch them back, something just seems a little off on some of them. So I don't know what's going on with it, but we'll figure that out at some point, and maybe pay for some sort of editing service or something like that. But talk to him, Colin. Say what's up, baby.
What's going on, boys and gals? It's Cousin Creamy, kinda, because I don't eat creamies anymore. Coming at you. How we doing on this fine fucking morning?
You know what's funny is for the first time since Detroit, I actually didn't have a creamy last night with my refeed
Yeah.
because food was just, it got delayed. I
Oh,
thought I was going to have a refeed. Uh, Dino is in Cali right now, so there's a time difference. So by the time that he saw my check-in, Vanessa was standing in front of me, and he was like, "Whoa, wait, don't eat yet. We gotta add 30 grams of cream of rice to that meal." And I was like, all right, looks like that's getting cooked again. We're gonna just start this session. So,
yeah.
and then all of a sudden, it's 11:30 by the time I eat my first meal, and thankfully I don't really get hungry, so we're chilling. Um, but today on Next Up Podcast, we are going to talk about prep and how prep's going, how vastly different our preps are, and guess what? At the end of the day, both getting peeled.
Yup.
Million ways to skin a cat. So, Colin, we're going to go with yours. Colin competes first, if you guys don't remember. He did just actually change his timeline up to 4.4 weeks and 6 days out.
Yeah. Um,
So,
it was obviously like initially the whole thought process was like universe again. Like just fucking full send it to universe again. But then we started prep at the same time, on my birthday. Happy birthday, me. And then just started coming in real fast, real quick. And then I was like, then we thought about junior nets and we're like, yeah, let's do that for sure. Body kept coming in real quick. Um, just like last year, and timeline got pushed up again to junior USAs. That was kind of in question. It wasn't like set in stone. I told Jack a little bit late, and he was like, if we're ready, we're ready. If we're not doing it. And I was like, all right, like that's fine by me. It's rather save $300 and piss it away for nothing. Um, but yeah, so we're now doing junior USAs in Charleston at, like you said, 4 weeks, 6 days. About sitting comfortably like 3 pounds above the cap right now. Pretty fucking peeled out, as you can see, as my face is skinny. And
mhm.
but yeah, I mean, all things considered, pretty good. Food's still pretty high. I'm at like 350 carbs on a training day, 250 on a rest day. Calories are like just below 3K on a training day, and it's like 2,800 on a rest day. So, I mean, to be 3 pounds above my cap for just about under 5 weeks out and eating this much food, I'm pretty happy. The big thing for me is just like fatigue for how fast I dropped off, because in 7 weeks I lost 25 or 26 pounds, something like that. So it's like roughly average like 3.5 pounds a week. So it's been fun managing that level of fatigue, but this prep has taught me um the very, because everyone says like mind over matter, but it's more so being able to turn off and on energy expenditure when needed. So when I go in for cardio, turn that shit on, fucking put myself through cardio, turn it off as soon as I'm done. Go get some steps in, cool, great, whatever. Get my first meal in, and then I do always do one meal, train. It's just how it is. So then eat, relax, chill, and then go to the gym. As soon as I fucking hit those doors, boom, turn it on. Fucking put myself through it, absolutely bury myself in my session. As soon as I'm done, turn it off. Fucking just brain dead walk for another 20 to 30 minutes. Um, just kind of rest and relax until I go to work, and then fucking turn it back on. to get myself through work and then turn it off. And it's been able to it's helped me a lot with being as it's going to sound a bit out there, but being as mentally stable as I can be on a prep. Just again, just managing as much as I can because again, Brianna knows like when I'm here, I'm not really doing a whole fucking lot. And to be honest, we're not really doing anything anyways, so it doesn't really matter to me. But it's more just like using the energy throughout the day and specific times when needed and just resting and relaxing when needed. So I'm not just pushing myself throughout the entirety of the day and then just being a zombie every single day at the end of the night. Like I can just feel refreshed when I wake up in the morning, but I'm also not completely fucking drained to nothing by the time the end of the day comes.
Beautiful. And I think realistically, that ability to learn on when to turn it on and turn it off has allowed for this prep to move just quite as smoothly as it has for you.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're not going to get into like the ancillaries or PEDs because at the end of the day, those are kind of assumed in a
Yeah.
prep scenario. Like those are going to happen. How's your sleep been?
Pretty good. I average roughly about 7.5 to 8.5 hours a night.
Cool. So this kind of goes into the dichotomy of what we're going through, um, in a very good way. So Colin started, you started on your birthday. So like very early March. I started very early, very early February. The plan has always been Universe. I was never doing any other show. The whole reason is Universe is in my backyard. It's 45 minutes from my house. Uh, for those who might not know who are new here, I own Ultimate Gym in Hicksville. Therefore, 45 minutes from the gym. Therefore, I want as many people to show up as possible from the gym if they want to. If not, we stream it at the gym. It's a really cool experience. The day after, well, I'll throw this out there because I don't know when I'm going to post this. We will be doing some version of a 90s theme lift fucking heavy collaboration with DBAFC in the back parking lot of Ultimate Gym with the cookout. So there's our first announcement, aka Joe Anaya. We have to get this rolling. Um, but my prep personally, I started off, I was 200 fake weight, but 263 pounds on day one of prep, the day after the Super Bowl. By the end of that week, I was 244. Reason was I got really sick and couldn't eat for like 2 days. So I just dropped 18 pounds. From that point forward, I went back up to like 256 and then didn't go down for a good 4 weeks. And then finally got down to like 248 and then didn't go down again for another like 3 weeks. And now, as of this week, I hit a prep low of 235. So Colin is sitting there. He's 3 pounds over his cap. I got 17 pounds to go. When you look at my pictures specifically, you could see where the 17 pounds are. Like it's all in my lower body. And I think there's two reasons for that. Last year during prep, my legs got fairly lean fairly quick. And I think that's because I wasn't doing any cardio. I was just doing steps. So very low fatigue. I was training legs once every 5 days, so I wasn't staying constantly inflamed. This go around, I'm training legs pretty much every 3 to 4 days. There's two full leg sessions per week, which we'll talk about a little later on how things might have to change at some point soon. Um, just because I'm getting absolutely murdered in the gym now. Uh, and I'm how many weeks now? 9 weeks, 6 days out. Realistically, based off of pictures, me and Colin kind of talked about it quickly. I could probably be ready for junior nats in 6 weeks and 6 days, but it's not worth it. It's not worth speeding up the timeline knowing that I still have 17, 18 pounds to lose. This morning I was 237 after the refeed, but knowing that we'll just say 20 pounds. 20 pounds in 6.5 weeks is like almost 3.5 pounds. It's not worth it.
Yeah.
especially because we're just starting to get cruising. Things are starting to drop pretty fast. So like, let's just ride it out, see what happens from here. If I am for whatever reason just like overly ready, you know, 5 weeks out, I'll do Rhode Islands just to see what happens. Um, but other than that, not a huge deal. So why I asked Colin how his sleep was, because he's sleeping 7.5 hours. He did not hear from me this morning at 6 a.m. simply because I finally got to sleep. Um, I tried to take advantage after the refeeds of getting a little bit better sleep, mainly because I won't wake up as many times to go to the bathroom. Um, what did you say your calories are at? A little under three, a little under two, or 28
Yeah, like 20 for training.
for both.
29, it's like 29.85 and like 28.85 or 27.85.
All right, so another really good example. I'm on 26.85 on training days, and rest days are like 25-ish. The only difference is about 180 grams of potatoes or 140 grams of potatoes or something like that. Um, we're not big. This has been my favorite part of prep, easily. The days are the same. The first three meals, no matter what, are exactly the same. Meal four has carbs on the training day. Meal four on rest day does not have carbs. Meal five, meal six don't have carbs. I don't really get hungry. This isn't really hard yet. What is hard is that some days I am just fatigued. My entire goal, this entire prep, has been to train as if there's a gun to my head. And now we're at the point where like calories are low, cardio is high, volume volume probably moderate to a little bit high. So we're gonna have to start to cut some things back. And the more I kind of watch someone like Terrence Ruffin, and I see that Terrence is doing, two sets of bicep curls on a preacher curl, and they're both 6 rep sets. It's like you don't need as much as you think. You just need to stay strong. So originally the idea is like, oh, you want to tone up, you want to do high reps and lightweight. It's like, no, no, no. You want to just fuel the training to turn around and make sure that you stay strong and you still progress, but like burn the calories elsewhere. Make sure that you're doing the other stuff correctly. So that's kind of where I'm at when it comes to prep. I mean, I've posted a couple year to dates, and I'm anywhere from 20 or 17 to 20 pounds heavier now than I was last prep in similar-ish condition. Again, the difference is my hamstrings specifically, and that's just simply because I think that there's just more inflammation there. I don't think they're not as lean as last year. I think they literally just have more inflammation sitting on my legs um, from training them so often. So that's kind of where I'm at. I'm sure that there's some questions that like Colin might have that would elaborate on my process a little bit more, but that's kind of the rough overview. So, did you have any?
It's more not necessarily the process, but I mean, I guess it's process. It's mindset wise with you. I know again, you're a fucking alien and you like to or you don't get hungry and shit, which fuck you. But anywho, it's the idea of going from a prep last year where you didn't touch cardio. You got fucking peeled inside and out. And then you go from this prep. Granted, two different coaches, two different approaches. How does that make you feel? Because again, you are busting your ass every day and you're watching your scale go up and or down or not move. What kind of mental fatigue? Because again, physical fatigue is a thing. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Mental fatigue is also a thing that people don't really take into account for. What kind of mental fuckery does it do to you if it does anything to you?
I'll be
Or
honest, it fucking blows. It sucks. Busting my ass on cardio for 45 minutes, doing fucking interval sprints and not seeing the scale move, yeah, it sucks. But guess what? How I've always looked at this is that do you need to be ready 10 weeks out? Do you need to be ready 9 weeks out? Do you need to be ready 4 days out? No, you have to be ready on show day. I
Mhm.
need to make weight. on Wednesday or Thursday of that first week of July, and then I need to be ready come 5th of July at, to be real, we didn't get on stage last year until like 11 o'clock. So 11 a.m., right? I don't care how much this sucks right now. I don't care if I'm dragging my feet. I don't care if it's hard because you know when I have energy is when I wake up first thing in the morning, I do the cardio and I'm dying and I say, all right, cool. The hardest quote unquote part of my day that I don't thoroughly enjoy is done. Now let's get to work. Let's
Yeah.
do my client check-ins. Let's get my clients serviced. Let's make sure that I'm having the conversations that are, I don't want to say work, but like checking in on my people, making sure that, anyone else who's in prep, you, Caleb, um, Felipe, it just countless people. Well, there's a ton of people in prep right now who are all just like, hey, are you okay? Is somebody mentally checking in on you? Because I know that I'm able to keep a very level head. I ride the midline very well in a prep scenario just because like I've quit a prep. That is always an option. I don't care what people say.
Mhm.
If things are not going right in your life, there is no point in continuing in a prep. If you have to borrow money to finish a prep, wrong move. If you have to, put off obligations or let's say not in this situation, but like let's say that I was engaged, right? Or I was in a marriage or something like that, and an anniversary came up, and like you can turn around and make adjustments to your plan to give back to the people around you. So how I always have looked at it is like, yeah, the weight's not moving, the scale's not moving. I'm getting leaner. I could see it. I don't care if the scale moves. The day of the show or the day of weigh-ins, I'll be under my weight cap. The day of the show, I'm going to be, as Dino says, peeled city with maximum fullness. And that's all that matters, right? The suck in between doesn't matter because when you get those Whitman photos or Gilco photos or FitX photos, or I don't know who does it in the South. Um, but when you get those photos and you hang them on your wall, or like you get your medal, you get your pro card, whatever it is, like, and you look at that, are you going to remember the hours of cardio that you did? Or are you going to sit there and you're going to look at that stage shot and be like, damn, I look good. I'll never look that bad again, though.
Yeah.
Like that's a head fuck in itself, right? I told you the first thing someone said to me, shout out my boy Leo over in Greece. Send me a picture or send me a text right after I got off stage. Yo, so proud of you. You looked great. How's it feel to know that this is the worst you'll ever look on stage again? And I was like, yo, screw you. Right in the moment. And then I thought about it and I was like, wait, I look pretty damn good. If this is the worst I'm ever gonna look on stage again, that's a win.
Yeah.
Take that. It means that I'll never look worse than I do right now, and I look pretty damn good. I mean, shoot, not to toot my own horn here, but like after the show, I had people hit me up and they were like, "Oh, bro, you're so close. You got it next year." And it's like, dude, I got 14th fucking place. What do you mean I'm so close? But people didn't think that I placed that low. So that's the coolest part about it is like watching your body transform more so than the scale. I step on the scale every morning. I step on the scale in the middle of the night sometimes just because I want to see how much water I drop overnight. But that's my own neuroticism. But like at the end of the day, it don't matter. The weight don't matter. The pain, the suffering, the struggle, the suffer, or all that don't matter. Just keep pushing forward. One foot in front of the other, accomplish the daily tasks. Like right now, I'm guessing you got your cardio in today, right?
Yes,
Yeah. Did you dread going to do that? Probably a
nope.
little bit. How do you feel now?
Great. Now,
Fine.
see, I don't mean to cut you off here, but to anyone doing a fucking prep, especially rest day cardio, because the idea of like training to cardio, if those who do train and then cardio back to back, or you do your fasted cardio and then you go train later, whatever your case is, especially when it comes to rest day, because like you have cardio, usually more. on a rest day because obviously you're not training, less expenditure, whatever. Some people dread it so much. It's like you get that done. That is the fucking largest tick you just checked off for the day. Sure, if you got a step count, great. That's fucking easy. I don't give a shit what anyone says. Getting steps in is the fucking easiest thing that you can do if you're not working like an office job, regardless. But just go outside and go for a walk. You don't need a walking pad. You don't need a treadmill. You can walk in a fucking circle in your house for 4 hours and get 12,000 steps. It doesn't matter. It is the easiest thing to do. You tick off that box of cardio in the morning. If you, especially you do it early in the morning, it's 9:30 right now. My cardio's been done for an hour and a half, and I feel fucking great because I know that all I have to do now is steps, get a massage, and relax. That's all I got, and get my meals in. That's it. It is the easiest thing that you can do. Get it done early if you can, and then just move on with your life because it sucks in the moment. It sucks before, but damn, it feels good to finish up that 45 minutes of cardio, knowing that you just put yourself through it and you can just rest and relax the rest of the day.
100%. I mean, shoot, I have one day a week where I don't do cardio and I don't train. I genuinely think that that's why my Monday pictures are the best they look, because I drop off a lot of inflammation.
Do you do, is Sunday your day just to do nothing?
Pretty much, I just try and knock out my steps and then work. Um, but like right now, while we're waiting to start this podcast up, I'm 4,000 steps deep. I'm 2 loads of laundry deep. Like all my little errand stuff is kind of done. What am I going to do for the rest of the day? Well, Delilah's rambunctious. Somebody gonna have to walk her. AKA, I'm gonna have to walk her.
Mhm.
Right? So if I turn around and I take this dog outside and I walk her for an hour, 6,000 steps. I'm already at 4,000. I only got 12,000 on the day. Done. I also have a walking pad next to my desk or next to my bed. I've been reading. I like to walk and read. That's the only way I could read. Don't know why. It's just how I do it. So it's like, hey, take a chapter of a book while on a walking pad. Take a chapter of a book on a treadmill. You'll hit your steps. Very simple. Personally, I used to love walking outside. If you're from Long Island, it's like weird here right now. We had like
Mhm.
2 days, it was like 70 degrees. Today it's like 43. It's like I might not walk outside today until I put on a hoodie and sweatpants, but like got 4,000 steps on. I don't need to be outside for that long.
Yeah.
So it's the little stuff at the end of the day that like you find your way to accomplish your tasks. I personally am a morning person. I like to accomplish as much as possible. I also don't like to talk to people in the morning because I know, especially with clients, um, the conversations don't just happen in 5 minute spurts or like we hop on a phone call and figure everything out. Normally, those conversations are going to go throughout the day. So if I look at whatever the questions are or whatever I have to address for that day at 5:15, 5:30 in the morning, knowing that most of my clients are still asleep, I can go into my notes app, have a little game plan kind of written out so that when I do communicate with the client when they first wake up in the morning, boom, done. Easy. It cuts the time down to where if I did my cardio mindlessly, got done with the cardio, hit my vacuums, did my abs, blah, 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 came home, showered, and then finally looked at my phone. Well, not only did, I don't know, hour and a half go by, but now I have to think and create and figure out and address problems. Whereas if you just kind of link tasks together, take something that, is an obligation and necessity and non-negotiable, cardio, and let's say you also have steps. Well, you could take 20 minutes before you start your cardio, start getting your heart rate up a little bit, look at your phone, do whatever, start putting your day together as to, all right, when I get home, I'm going to do this. When after I shower, I'm going to do this. After this, I'm going to do this. I have all of my stuff prepped. Bing, bang, boom, done. Game over. You don't have to really worry about a lot of stuff. If you sit there and you don't do that, you go in, I hate to say this because like This is definitely a good way to do cardio if you're not doing intervals. Um, and you just watch an anime. Like animes are about 22 to 24 minutes show. So you got an hour of cardio to do 3 shows, right? And then you come home and then you have your clients and you got to address all your clients. It's like, well, you spent no time whatsoever thinking about that. Now your day feels like it's piled on top of each other because now the messages are coming in. It's 8 a.m. People are awake. They're getting ready for work. Oh, I ran out of this. I need this. It's like, all right, cool. You didn't plan for this whatsoever.
Yeah.
You have to have a game plan. You have to have like prep is awesome because prep allows you to start setting little habits and little routines that if you can carry that into an off season, money. You're going to be
Yeah.
more productive because you have a little bit more energy. And also, guess what? Off season, I probably won't be doing Stairmaster intervals for 45 minutes,
Yeah, it's something that I've really started
30.
to appreciate when it comes to a prep setting. I've always been one who like fuck prep, blah blah blah. Not fuck prep, but like I like off season more than prep for the sake of diet. But it's honestly this prep alone has really helped me instill a lot of habits as well as a really good timeline throughout my day. So obviously with like work, I get my schedule, I think like a week in advance or something of that nature. But it's pretty easy and simplistic for me because there's days that I work. I start my day at 10:30 a.m. and I work till 10, 11 p.m. And there's sometimes I work at 4:30 p.m. and I wake till 11, whatever the case may be. But it's the idea that I wake up, I go to my cardio, I come home, I eat, I rest, I train, pose, eat, prep, get ready for work, go to work, and then it's just through and through from there. Those days are simple and easy for me. And then you have like the days I'm there all day. I have a 2 hour gap in the middle of the day. I'll get up, cardio, work, break, train, back to work, and just carry on about my day. It's just these little things are really helping me instill a good mental capacity just due to the fact that again I'm so filled with work, whether it's like job work or client work. It's just I don't really have time to think about food. And especially last prep I did like all macros, dude. If I followed macros and on a meal plan this prep, I'd put a bullet in my head. There's way too much thought that goes into macros.
That's another thing to say. I don't want to cut you off, but macros are all well and good, especially in an off season. And sticking to whole foods and things like that will ixnay those caveats. But like in a prep scenario, if you just have macros, or let's say your coach gives you macros, actually a better idea. Take those macros and make a set meal plan.
Hmm.
The idea behind it is just even if you're changing your macros like every 2, 3 days, make a couple set meal plans because the simplicity of knowing for sure that you are going to continue down that route or like, hey, these are the foods I need. I'm going to prepare this like shit, batch cooking rice, right? Like you need 4 100-gram servings of rice. So you make 400 grams of raw weight rice and then you cook it, you weigh it, and then you just divide that out into the week. All of a sudden, you just saved a ton of time. You don't have to be a numero uno dickhead and making rice fresh every single time. Luckily, I only have 2 meals with rice, and it makes it easy. But if I had, like yesterday during the refeed, I had 4 meals with rice. That rice cooker was on nonstop. Would have been a lot easier to just cook it all together and turn around and then see what it was. But the rice cooker also wasn't big enough for that. So with a grain of salt there. But like just being prepared, making sure that you take the little tasks and you say, all right, this is what I'm going to do. This is how I'm going to, and that's another thing actually, is finding your way to win.
Yeah.
What does winning look like for you? Is it being 100% prepared, or is it turning around and saying like, all right, I'm not prepared, but I know how to make these adjustments to be better?
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like you have to take these little small these small little things and really make the most of it because again, there's times where you just won't be prepared. Like I'm not gonna lie, there's times I'll come home fucking dead tired after working 13 hours and I have no rice, I have no chicken prepped or whatever the case may be, and I need a meal. And I don't have time to wait for rice, and I ain't cooking fucking chicken at 12 or 11 o'clock at night. So there are substitutions you can make, but again, it comes with whole food substitutions. So if that means I do cream of rice and fucking protein powder, great. If that means I do egg whites and rice, it's not perfect, but it gets the job done. Calorically the same, but it's making sure that you have things at your expense that you don't have to go get and extend your day even further. Making sure that, again, if you don't have egg whites on your meal plan at all times, or if you just have them in the house, have them prepared, or even I know all these Trader Joe's, a bunch of places sell like pre-cooked chicken breast, frozen chicken breast. It ain't the fucking greatest. It ain't GMO free. It pumped with hormones. But guess what? If you ain't got chicken breast cooked and prepped and you have some shit in the freezer you can defrost in 5 minutes, boom, you got chicken right there. It's these small little things that you can have just as backups. Yep, nope, heard nothing.
We're pumped with hormones. Don't
I
care about your chicken when we're also pumped
know.
with hormones.
It's just there's small little things that you can do in any sort of a setting, prep, off season, whatever the case may be. It's just being prepared. You know, everyone talks about being in prep, you're in preparation for the show. Same thing goes with being in preparation for any sort of thing, in prep for a show, in prep for life, and prep for anything. So, whether you're a lifestyle person, whether you're a competitor, whatever, you're a power lifter, it just making sure that you're filling yourself with foods that or making sure that your kitchen and your fridge and your cabinets are filled with foods that one align with your goals, two they just work more towards they help you work towards your goals rather than against. So it's all well and good that you want to, you know, if you don't have shit prepped, you want to go out and DoorDash something or go stop at the store and get fucking Oreos. And at the end of the day, I'm not here to guilt trip you, but sleeve Oreos ain't shit compared to like if you want to eat chicken. It's just there's different things that you want to keep yourself prepared for, whether it's having, again, like I said, egg whites, chicken, beef, egg, whatever the case may be. Just being prepared for any sort of curveball life can throw at you.
Hmm. And that's also another, I mean, this is more of an off-season thing that I've told a lot of clients to do, but this works for prep too. Um, Always having, I would say, 50 to 100 grams of whey and oats with you, or maybe not even oats, but like rice cakes. If you
Yeah,
don't turn around and have the only way to fail in a prep scenario is to not be prepared, period. Right? If you turn around and you say, I'm just not going to do the cardio, I'm just not going to get my steps in, you're going to see the results, and you're probably in the back end of that prep going to be doing 2 hours of cardio on the Stairmaster and be like, oh, I wonder why this happened. And you're going to be like, well, because you skipped all those ones during the actual time where it probably could have made your life a lot easier.
yeah,
So if you're not prepared, I mean, I'll tell you this, and this is probably the wrong way of thinking about it, and I've thought about it like this for a long time, is like, oh, you miss a meal during prep, you got ahead. No, the meals don't, the food does not fuel the deficit. What fuels the deficit is the training, the output, the cardio, the steps. What fuels your recovery and your ability to keep the muscle is the meal. So if you miss a meal during prep, that's almost worse than missing a meal in the off season. When you're in your calorie surplus, hey, listen, um, I just can't get this meal down. It's 400 calories. I don't really, or it's 700 calories. I really don't want to eat. It's 100 grams of carbs and 50 grams of protein, 20 grams of fat. It's like, yeah, man, make a really, really thick whey paste, put a fuck ton of honey in it, and some peanut butter, and just scarf that thing down. If you want to add a little bit of water to it after it kind of sets, that way it's a little looser and you can drink it, do it. But in a prep scenario, it's like you do that, you start doing that, you start messing around with that, and you're not going to turn around and have the best look. You might cause some gut disturbances. You cause one day of gut disturbances, and you could actually throw off a week of prep
Yeah, that is so fucking true.
because it just will blur the look. You start to inflame your gut. All of a sudden, you start to hold water. Now your coach is sitting there and they're like, all right, they're holding water. We're going to add 12.5 of aromasin, or we're gonna turn around and we're gonna drop the hammer on the cardio. We're gonna add an extra 30 minutes for the week. And it's like, yeah, coach, I just had a Splenda packet. Like obviously that's aggressive, but like I just had a little bit of xanthan gum. And it's like, maybe just think about that for a second. Maybe just say like, hey, I jacked up here. I wasn't 100% on plan. Um, and now I'm holding a little bit of water. Shoot, it happened to me last prep. I was using so much sauces and so much xanthan gum and things like that, so many artificial sweeteners, that when I finally cut them out, I lost 7 pounds in a week.
Yeah.
My notoriously small waist was not small at the time. A week later, it came right in. And I was like, oh, all right, no more sauce.
Yeah.
I just put a hard cut to it. No more sauce. Done. All of a sudden, I started dropping, and fast, quickly. So I think realistically, we talked a lot about like my process, your process, but at the end of the day, it really comes down to like finding what works for you, taking your time with it. Like Colin's moving a lot faster than I am. I don't think my body could handle moving at that speed. I think I just lose everything. My biggest goal is to stay as big as possible because last year I lost a ton of tissue in the back end of prep, and now we have to stay consistent. So to put a bow on this, stay true to your process. Turn around and think about the little stuff that you have to do to make your prep or your diet phase work for you. And if you're working through a prep and it sucks, finish the job because you're going to feel accomplished at the end. Colin, sign us out.
Well, with that said, ladies and gents, it's been yet again another Next Up podcast. But yeah, like he said, I know I'm watching the timer now, so we got like 20 seconds. But like you said, be true to yourself, be true to what you want to accomplish in this lifetime, especially if you're a competitor. Really take advantage of the time that we have because we're not going to compete for the rest of our lives. And at the end of the day, bodybuilding is not for everybody and it's not meant to be for everybody. So take it with a grain of salt. As always, we love you guys for tuning in, and we will be catching you guys next week.
Like, comment, share, subscribe, ring the bell, all that fun shit. Feel me?